feeling today? Good. Well, I thought there were a lot of good things out there today for the first scrimmage, and I think the number one goal for any team, any new team, as you rebuild a team, is for that team to take advantage of trying to create an identity for themselves and have a clear vision of who we want to be, how we want to play. We always talk about being a team that nobody wants to play, and I think that comes from guys playing with relentless competitive spirit, trusting in the process of how we do things and what we do so you can play together as a team and be fast and physical in what you do and take care of the ball and finish plays. And guys that run to the ball usually end up having a better chance to make plays than guys that don't, whether it's on offense or defense. I thought that the transition was pretty smooth on offense with the things that we were doing, the carryover from what we've done in the past, as well as the new things that we did. I thought we were much more effective passing the football today. A lot of big plays, a lot of explosive plays throwing the ball, especially play-action passes. And I think all the quarterbacks, did a fairly good job, and they all got a pretty good opportunity. So, defensively, I thought that there was a lot of good hitting. There was some good tackling. I think a lot of the young players made a lot of mental errors, but that's okay. I think that's why we put them out there, and they'll learn from the mistakes that they made, and we'll have an opportunity to get some of those guys better. It's pretty obvious to me that we don't have enough respect for the deep part of the field in the back end, especially past the first team, because we gave up, quite a few explosive plays with, the second and third, secondary when they were in there. So, but all in all, I was really pleased with for the first scrimmage, the way things went. We got a lot of things to work on and a long way to go, but I like the attitude of the players in terms of how they were going about what they were doing, and there's a lot of things that we need to do, and I would say if there's one thing we need to improve on, it's just consistency and performance. A lot of good things, but a lot of things we need to eliminate and get better at. Questions?
Start over here with Aaron.
How do you think Jalen did in terms of, you kind of gave a checklist you wanted to see last week, not floating in the pocket, stuff like that?
He completed over 50% of his passes, and I think he had 4 touchdown passes, and so I thought he did a really good job. I don't think we threw any interceptions today, so that was good. I think he has a good understanding of what we're doing, and did a much better job in the pocket, and did a really good job with the play-action passes.
Back on this side with Tony.
You mentioned the passing game, but what did you see from the running game during practice?
Well, I don't think that I think that that's something that we definitely need to continue to work on. I don't think we got enough movement up front. Look, we're playing against ourselves, so if we really ran the ball good, we would be saying what's wrong with the defense, and if we gave up too many big plays, we'd be saying what was wrong with the defense, and we did give up too many big plays, but it was mostly some of the younger players that did it. But I think we got to do a better job up front, getting movement on people, and finishing plays and finishing runs.
Stay over there with Charlie.
Just want to ask about Minka Fitzpatrick, if he played at corner or safety or maybe both today, and how you thought he and the rest of the secondary
Well,
played.
he played at safety today. We played him at corner for the first 6 or 7 practices. We moved him to safety the last couple practices, and he played at safety today. And Trayvon Diggs played left corner, and Anthony played right corner.
Stay on that side with Chandler.
Following up on that, you kind of mentioned you didn't like how you didn't have respect for the deep part of the field. What specifically went wrong in the secondary today?
Well, we have a lot of young players that are freshmen playing, and they don't know what they're doing. That's what went wrong. Right? Didn't go wrong. They just don't know any better. Did you know everything that you know now when you were a freshman? First semester you were in college? I'm assuming you went to college, right? Yes. So you learned, right? And we're encouraged by what these guys are doing, and we just need to keep working with them. And first time out there, there's a lot of anxiety and not certain about what they're doing, not playing with a lot of confidence, but that's really to be expected. So, but it gives us all a starting point of where these guys need to go and what they need to do, and I'm sure they'll learn a lot from it, and we're excited about having the opportunity to work with them.
Back on the left side with Cecil.
Hey, Coach. I was going to ask about freshmen too, but I think I won't. How did the running backs, first of all, Damian probably the first one, and how did they perform today?
Well, we don't really have a first one. We don't really have a depth chart. We have what we call a rep chart, which means we put people in position so we can do repetitions in practice that way. Bo did not scrimmage today. B.J. Emmons did not scrimmage today. Damian Harris sprained his foot, but did a good job in the scrimmage, all day, and then we held him out. I don't know what the prognosis on that'll be. I don't think it's anything real serious, but it may keep him out for a few days. Najee played a lot. Brian Robinson played a lot, which is good for them. And we tried Tredarius Townsend at receiver. Josh Jacobs had a little thigh bruise. He probably could have scrimmaged today, but we held him out. But, all those guys are guys that can make a contribution to our team, and I think, we're looking for ways that we can use them.
Up front with Mark.
Yeah, you mentioned Trayvon Diggs at corner. How's he progressed at that position, and how's he looking at Trayvon Diggs?
We're pleased with the progress that he's made. He's much more natural playing corner than when we try to play him at safety. That's what he played in high school. He's long. He's got good toughness, and he's a good tackler. He plays the ball well in deep part of the field, and he's done a good job of playing man-to-man. So, I don't know what we're going to do with him the rest of the spring. We'll probably decide something after the end of this when we look at the scrimmage.
Stay over here with Chris Walsh.
Defensive front seven, what did you see? What did you like?
I think we stopped the run okay. I think the big thing we have to work on is pass rush lanes, quarterback scrambling, quarterback running. Everybody's worried about getting a sack. You need to worry about forcing the quarterback, pushing the pocket in the middle so he can't step up and throw the ball and can't extend plays, which means the coverage breaks down in the back end and we make big plays. So I would say that against the run we were okay, but past that I don't have a great feel for it without watching the film.
Back over here with Alex.
Talked a lot about secondary, but what did you see from the receiving corps today, especially Robert and maybe TJ?
Robert did a much better job today. He was very engaged out there, made some plays. Calvin Ridley had a big day. I think he had like 8 catches or something. Robert had 3 catches. TJ Simmons had 7 catches. So the backs had, quite a few catches. So I was pleased with the receivers. I think that's one of the areas of concern where we need to make considerable improvement when I talk about consistency in performance. But most certainly Calvin Ridley had a big day, and Robert Foster was good.
Again, I know no film to go on, but the right side of your offensive line, how does that look and how they look today?
Lester Cotton's playing right guard. He probably could play right tackle if we needed to. Momac's playing right tackle, and he's making progress and doing a good job. Do we need to make improvements in the offensive line? I think probably at all positions. I don't think there's a position on our team where we don't need to make improvement. But those guys have been a pretty solid group so far. But again, if I was going to be specific, I think pass protection is something that we really need to improve on, and being more physical in the running game and getting more movement up front would be the 2 things that I would say not just today, but all spring long, is that we would want to really emphasize with those players.
Last one again, there.
Nick, this is the last time I think we can talk to you before the NCAA votes on that rule that you mentioned earlier this spring. How does that affect you in big schools like hold summer camps like you do, holding camps, and I'm guessing you don't think that's a good thing for college football?
Well, basically what I'm learning, of course, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, nor do I spend a lot of time worrying about what other people do, but I guess people don't really have camps anymore. We're one of the few people that have an old-fashioned camp where we get 600 guys that are high school players at 2 different camps on 2 different occasions, so that's 1,200 guys. We may have 50 guys in each camp that are really prospects. The rest of the 550 are just high school players that really want to get better and try to go help their team and improve themselves and work hard, and that's the kind of camps that we have. And I think that when you pass rules that are basically, I guess, for recruiting purposes, I guess the reason that a high school coach is not supposed to work a camp is because he might bring one of his players, or he might bring 20 of his players. All 20 of them may not be prospects. None of them may be prospects. Maybe one of them is a prospect. Maybe none of them is a prospect. So obviously that's not going to happen. It's a great experience for the young guys to be able to come to camp and experience a place, like the University of Alabama or any SC school for that matter. My other concern about it is the kids are still going to come to camp, the prospects. So who's going to bring them now? If the high school coach doesn't bring them, some third-party guy is going to bring them, and that's what we're really trying to eliminate. So I don't understand the spirit of the rule. I don't really know why we're doing it. I really don't. I think sometimes we pass rules and don't really understand the consequences, and there's a lot of unintended consequences, and you think you're solving one problem, but really, in reality, you're going to create 10 more. And I think it's bad for football. I think it's bad for high school coaches. We had a high school coach here the other day, I'm not going to mention any names, and his son's a prospect, and he used to be a college coach. So now he can never go work at a college, he can never work at camp. They're even talking about you can't come and speak at clinics. We just had over 1,000 coaches here at a clinic and had a great camp, which is the way that I feel that we serve the high school coaches and have a chance to give back to them for all that they do in terms of the hard work that they do in developing players, helping us be able to evaluate players, giving us information about their players. And I guess we can't do anything. So I really don't get it. I don't understand it. Now, I guess we'll have to try to staff our camps another way. We also have a little kids camp here. It's certainly not a recruiting camp. There's not even any high school players in it, and we're not even certain that we can have high school coaches work that camp. They may be under the same scrutiny that they have any relationship with the prospect, then they can't work our camp. That's the way I understand it, or that's the way our compliance understands it, but I guess we'll figure it out when the rule passes or whatever. But look, I guess I'm just too old-fashioned. If people didn't help me when I was coming up as a coach and visit with me and help me grow and learn as a coach, I would never be in the position that I'm in or have the success that we've been able to have, even when it was just being a position coach. So I guess it's my respect for the profession and the paranoia that everybody has that somebody's doing something because a high school coach comes and works your camp. I think it's pretty ridiculous, but it is what it is. So is that how we're ending this? Is that how we're ending this? So, nice talking to you.